So we are going to start at the beginning. And the very, very first thing you need to learn in a drawing class is how to hold your pencil. So a lot of people when they draw think that they should hold their pencil like this, the same way they would hold it if they were doing their math homework, 2 plus 2 equals 4. The problem with that is it's really not a very ergonomic way of holding your pencil. And by that what I mean is, one, you've got a lot of control over a tiny little movement like this, like if you were writing your name in cursive. But if you're drawing a drawing and you need to make long lines, you don't really have that much control. It's kind of awkward. It's just a weird position. It's not one your body just does naturally. And then going along with that is holding your pencil like this and drawing for an hour, even if you really get into it, you go 2 hours, 3 hours, you will end up with a cramp in your hand. And that's not much fun at all. I like to think of myself as being a pretty nice drawing teacher. And if you were leaving class every day with a cramp in your hand, if we got to the end of the semester and you had some sort of arthritic claw that you were trying to use, I probably wouldn't be able to think of myself as a nice drawing teacher anymore. I'd be a jerk, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you a different way to hold your pencil, the way that artists hold their pencil. When artists grip the pencil, the first thing they do is they tend to grab it back a little bit more. That way it's much easier to make longer lines. You're not limited to just those few little joints, those few little muscles in the tips of your finger, but you could use your wrist, you could use your elbow, you could use your shoulder. It makes it really easy to make a lot of different sort of lines. When you hold a pencil like this, what I kind of tell people to think about, and it'll be a little awkward at first, I know it was for me too, but you'll get used to it. You'll never turn back as soon as you get used to it. You almost think of it like if you were having a bagel for breakfast this morning and you would hold your butter knife and smear that cream cheese all over the bagel, just like that. So hold the pencil like this. Every once in a while, if you're making another movement, because again, what we're all about is a little more flexibility, a little more ergonomic control. We want the way we're holding the pencil to just kind of work with the way that the muscles in our arm are put together. Every once in a while, I'll flip it around like this. If I'm making a movement that's more this direction, I feel like I need that kind of control. So there, if you notice, I'm kind of holding it like if I decide to skip on the bagel and have some healthy oatmeal for breakfast, this is how I'd hold the spoon as I ate that oatmeal. So sometimes butter knife, sometimes spoon. I hold the pencil back more. If I need fine control, if I've got to draw some eyelashes, I still hold it back. I'll just tend to put a pinky down to kind of stabilize it, and I can still make some delicate little lines there. Then the last thing that I want everybody to be aware of, you're holding the pencil back, you're holding it kind of loose, not too tight. And then when you're working on the paper, notice what I'm doing. I'm kind of coming in at an angle. I'm not pointing the pencil right into the paper. If I do that, what's going to happen is I'm going to scratch the paper. I don't have much control. Like this kind of movement, if I'm trying to make a line go darker or thicker, it's just awkward. I just do not have a lot of control doing this. If I do this, as I'm making a line darker, thicker, I have a lot more control. I'm just sort of brushing across the side of the paper rather than digging into the paper. So even when I make a really dark line, it's still like right on the surface of the paper. And if I need to go back and erase it later on, it just goes away. I haven't left a scratch there. And the way I make my lines lighter or darker, it really is just the grip again. So if I squeeze tight, I'll make a dark line. If I'm holding it loose, I'll make kind of a light line. And that's something I have a lot more control over. So one of the first things we learn in drawing is just to draw in a way that works for the muscles, the joints in your arm. And then we learn to hold the pencil back so we can make longer lines. We can make more variety of lines using more muscles and joints. And we sort of brush the pencil against a piece of paper rather than scratching that line into the piece of paper. So let's kind of practice that on these drawings.